The Brighton Pavilion is as fundamental to the identity of Britain as umbrellas
and sarcasm.
It is in the top 10 attractions, narrowly defeated by Blackpool Tower
and the Walsall illuminations.
But what makes this structure an invaluable cornerstone of the British consciousness, as attractive to foreign nationals as a flame to a moth? Sure, it's an inanimate object and a sign of over-excess, flourished by an unelected monarchy in a time of severe peasantry, famine and social degradation. But don't let that put you off. Let's forget about the misery and delve into the history. The original creation of the pavilion is unknown and likened to the Stonehenge and the pyramids. The first noted use of the pavilion was in 1066, just before the Battle of Hastings, and early Britons took advantage of its boob-like shape. The Britons used it to disable the army arriving by aqua vessel. The army would have fallen in love with the giant boob sat abreast of the relic. They would attempt to force their way inside, where they would fall into a gigantuan bungee pit with spikes and pokies to become impaled upon. Thousands died. Fast forward 700 years, and the more recognisable form of the pavilion appears with Prince George, King of the Wales. At first his move was out of necessity. A hideous skin condition plagued the regent. The top layer of his skin malformed, leaving a stinking layer of oil, almost like an anthropomorphic slug. The servants would give him the nickname Prince Vaseline, or Vaseline Roy, short for royal. He would leave his trail all over the halls and corridors. The servants noted that they could always smell when the prince was at home. He would use the salty water, abundant in the English Channel, to soothe his body-encompassing lesions. He would organise huge orgies with many of the visiting folk. To keep his stature in the public consciousness unblemished, he constructed vast whore tunnels to siphon in whores and lords for the orgies. The vast whore network still exists up until this day, although mostly on the internet, on websites like Gumtree and Tinder. The residue of skin can still be found on the walls of the tunnel. The prince would leave wearing a mask to collect whores for gatherings in his magnificent hall. The history was then whitewashed, and the pavilion turned into a family-friendly tourist attraction where its legacy ceases to be. Once a year in late May, the Northern Lights or the Aurora Borealis visits Brighton and is seen to reflect off the surface of the bosom, a reminder of the bright parties that the Lord Regent also used to have so far ago in the grey old times.